Line XY is a line segment with the coordinates x minus 8, minus 12, and y p, q. If the midpoint of line XY is minus 4, minus 2, find the coordinates of y. Now, so we have a line segment. Let's just say a line segment like this, where this is x, y, right? That's a line segment. And the coordinate of this place is minus 8, minus 12. Now, minus, this is always the x and this is always the y. So this is, for x is minus 8 and 12 it is. So it is exactly at this point. Is that okay? So this is where you have your x. Now I'm going downward like this, right? Going like this. And then to a point called y. But that y, we are told, is just pq. This guy is actually minus 8, minus 12, right? That's this point. And this one we are not given. And we are told halfway has a coordinate of what? Minus 4, minus 2, like that. So that is, but look at this. Looking at this, this is a minus 4, right? This x and this y again. Minus 4 is right to be minus 4, but this guy is minus 2. And this lower than minus 12. So it means our graph is actually going upward, not downward. Is that okay? So y is somewhere here. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, but I want you to have a picture. Now let's go into the problem. We are given the coordinates of the midpoint as minus 4, 2, minus 2. And then we are asked to use this available information and find what this place will be. Remember this, p, q. It means there is a value here, p, q. There's a value here. This guy has a value on the x-axis and it has a value on the y-axis. That's what is coordinate. That's what we are asked to find. How do I get that value? Now let me show you something else. If I give you a line, for instance, from 6 all the way to 10 and ask you to find the midway, what will you do? Now, what's the midpoint from 6 to 8? Now remember, this is 7, 8, 9, and 10, right? What's the midpoint? Midpoint is 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, 8 is the midpoint. Now, if you are not dealing with graph, how will you get that through calculation? This is what I'll do. I'll pick the first, I'll pick the last, and I'll do 6 plus 10, and that is 16. 16 divided by 2, and that is what? 8. That's how I get my 8. So I'm going to do the same thing to this guy. This guy is on this x-axis is what? 8. Okay? Minus 8. Right? Again, here on the x-axis, what's the value? P. Right? I don't know that yet, so I still write P. Now I'm supposed to divide that by 2, the same way I did this to get the mid value, because I'm looking for this midpoint. But that midpoint is given as what? Remember, this is the x minus 4. So, like I got this middle point to be 8. If I do these two guys, the middle point should give me a value that I'm already given. It's just that they make P to disappear. P is not given. I'm not asked to find minus 4 like I was asked to find x here, this question I gave myself. Now, rather, the answer is given and I'm asked to find P. Is that okay? This plus this divided by 2 gives the middle points, minus 4 given. So let's solve it. Plus P is equals to minus 4 times 2, and that is minus 8, right? So minus 8 plus P is equals to minus 8. So P is equals to minus 8. Minus comes over here and becomes plus. And that is 0. So my P is what? 0. Wow, I get my P. Now let's do the same thing for Q. We are going to the y coordinate this time. That is this minus 12. Okay? Minus 12 plus who now? Q divided by 2 should give me what? What was this mid value? I didn't write it here. Let me write it here because this is what we are using. The mid value is what? Minus 2. So that's what I'm going to solve. Let's solve that. So minus 12 plus Q is equals to, this comes over here and becomes minus 2 times 2. So minus 12 plus q is equal to what? Minus 4, and q is equal to minus 4. Minus 12 comes and becomes plus 12. Minus 4 plus 12 is what? 8. So my q is equal to 8. So now my coordinates, this guy is what? My p comma q now becomes what? What was p? 0. What is q? 8. That's my answer. And what option is that?